This is a mass. The mass is exerting a force here, while this one is exerting a force around this way. So there are two planes here. We have the inclined plane and the vertical plane. So let us start by resolving along the inclined plane. So we look at the inclined plane. So along the inclined plane, there are two forces acting here. We have the tension. The tension is towards this direction. Then we have an opposite force here. Okay, let's call it F. F is pulling down opposite the tension. And the difference between T and F will determine the accelerating force of this mass. So it means that we are going to write T minus F equals to the accelerating force, which is MA. So this T here is the tension in the rope. Tension in the rope. And it's minus F. F is mg sine theta. Mg sine theta. So we are going to write mg sine theta. Theta is the angle of inclination. So this together will give us MA. We cannot substitute based on what we have here. So we have T minus mg. M is 4, then G is 10. That is 40. Okay, that gives us 40 sine 30 degrees. And that is equals to 4 times A. T minus 40. Sine 30 is half. So half of 40 is 20. Which means we have T minus 20 equals to 4A. This is equation 1 from the inclined plane. Then equation 2 will come from the vertical plane. So let's look at the vertical plane. In the vertical plane, there will be a downward pull, right? Yes, due to the weight. And then there will be an opposite pull here due to the tension. But the direction is still towards W. So let's look at the vertical plane. We are going to write vertical plane. That is along the vertical plane. We have W minus T. This will also determine the accelerative force. Then what is W is mg. Mg minus T is equals to the accelerative force. M is 6 here, no longer 4. 6. Then G is 10. 6 times 10 is 60. 60 minus T equals to M is 6 here. 6 times A. This is equation 2. Let's solve the two equations together. And let's bring it together, okay? Adding equations 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Let's add equation 1 and 2 together. In 1, we have T minus 20 equals 4A. So T minus 20 equals to 4A. This is equation 1. Then equation 2 is 60 minus T. So we have 60 minus T equals to 6A. This is equation 2. So let's add up. If you add up, this will cancel this, right? We have 60 minus 20. 60 minus 20 is 40 equals to, we add these two, right? That gives us 10A. That gives us 10A. Then we can divide by 10 on each side. That gives 4 right here. Then we have A. Therefore, A, which is the acceleration, is equals to 4 meters per second square. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed at all. I'll see you in my next video. I wish you excellence.